You want to listen to a podcast?
By who?
Georgia GOP Congressman Doug Collins.
How is it?
The greatest thing I have ever heard in my whole life.
I could not believe my ears.
In this house, wherever the rules are disregarded, chaos and mob rule. It has been said today, where is bravery? I'll tell you where bravery is found and courage is found. It's found in this minority who has lived through the last year of nothing but rules being broken, people being put down, questions not being answered. And this majority say, be damned with anything else. We're going to impeach and do whatever we want to do. Why? Because we won an election. I guarantee you, one day you'll be back in the minority and it ain't going to be that fun. Welcome to Friday's Finest. Yes, I know you're in the middle of the madness, and if you're a Kentucky fan, have another drink. Bourbon's still good. Life is okay, undoubtedly, because undoubtedly you got nothing else to do up there because Kentucky got beat again in an early round. Calipari is 1 for 2 in the last, I think, 3 years. This is we're in the middle of madness. Akron almost gets beat last night. There's a lot of others. Kansas. If you look at the call, Kansas ought to gotten at least had a different outcome possibly in their game last night as well. But a lot of things going on. Today, Chip has decided that he cannot be with us because he is out with the basketball. He's out doing some stuff, but we'll have Chip back soon. James is with me today. Got a quick down and dirty version for the Friday's Finest today. Going to hit a lot of topics in a short amount of time. Hope you're having a great day on this Friday. Right now, after the break, James and I will be back. We'll get right on. Hey, folks, when you look out and you see the country and just the disarray it is, you see the Biden administration, you see the wholesale prices have just went through the roof again. Inflation is tearing us up. If you have your finances all impinged in just a few areas, if you're just in stocks and bonds and you're not diversified, I got some news for you. You need a navigator. You need somebody to help you get to where you need to go with those finances. And I can't think of anybody better to do that than my friends at Legacy Precious Metals. You need precious metals in that portfolio. You need gold and silver. And Legacy Precious Metals, the folks there, they're the navigators. They know how to deal with tough times. They know and how to look ahead and take your personal situation and make it something that can be workable for you in the long term, because that's at the end of the day, that's the one you're most concerned about. You need to make sure that your personal finances and your retirement are secure. You need folks like Legacy Precious Metals helping you in that. They will take the time to learn you. They'll learn your finances. They'll learn where your investment goals are, and they'll help you get there. And metals and gold right now in this kind of crazy inflation, in this kind of crazy economy with the Biden's economy is just, you need that help. And Legacy Precious Metals is the one to do that. So give Legacy Precious Metals a call, 866-528-1903, 866-528-1903, or you can always visit them online at legacypminvestments.com, and you can download their free investor's guide. Legacy Precious Metals, they're the ones you need. They're the navigators to help you through these turbulent times. Hey, everybody, Mike Lindell and the MyPillow employees want to thank all of my listeners, the Great Doug Collins podcast listeners, for your continued support. To thank you, they're offering an overstocked clearance sale right now for the best price you ever use when you use the promo code Collins, COLLINS, and you get free shipping on the entire order. You get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0, the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. Get six-pack towel sets for only $29.98. And take advantage of the free shipping on large items like mattresses and mattress toppers. 100% made here in the United States and on sale for as low as $99. Everything is on sale, from the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually absorb dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and much, much more. To get the best specials ever, go to the mypillow.com, and use the promo code Collins, COLLINS, or call 800-986-3994 and use the same keyword Collins, COLLINS, and get free shipping on your entire order while supplies last. MyPillow products, thank you. Y'all go check them out. All right, we're back here for Friday's Finest. James, how's life in Texas?
Just wonderful. My mom's visiting because
all right,
to see mom's in the house. Yeah, no, she's in the house right now. I was going to tell her to stop by, but she's shy.
Okay. Well, are you getting your cutlets though? Are you and your brother getting cutlets?
No, we're doing all the cooking. She's relaxing this week.
Oh, okay.
We're good. We're good sons. We take care of our mom, you know. But if we go to New Jersey,
every son ought to take care of their mom.
But if we go to New Jersey, it's different. She's got to do all the cooking. You can't.
Okay. Here's the thing for Friday's Finest, Mom. Believe me, I wish I still had my little mom with me, but it was, Mama's cooking is just something. My kids to this day, my mom and we used to get together for dinners on Thursday nights. My brother and I, and my mom and my dad, we'd all go to their house, and my mom would fry, and she'd cook chicken, or she would cook French fries, and she had, of course, the way she would cook was, of course, in the old iron skillet or the skillet on the stove. And even to this day, if you ask Cameron and Copeland, who've been a part of the show before, many of you know, they'll tell you they remember the smell of the grease. I mean, it's just
that's real.
Yeah. You just gotta love it as we go through here. Lots of stuff happening. Real quickly, James, I want your take. We're gonna do a sort of lightning Friday's Finest today. Again, Chip's ditching us to go. I guess fill out his bracket and make millions of dollars. That's the Chip Lake way today. So we'll give Chip a hard time. By the way,
that would really piss me off if he got super rich and left us.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, I was going to ask him today if he was going to be on, since he was not on. I can't do it. I actually saw, was it Steve Kornacki out of NBC picked Auburn to win the tournament?
Yeah, he's probably just a Bruce Pearl fan, because everybody's now like a Bruce Pearl fan, even though they hated him when he was leaving Tennessee.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but the situation says that, I mean, it's not too far off. I mean, they're deep. They're an older team that's deep. They got one. Yeah. They got 1-2s at every place, and it'll be interesting. I mean, Kornacki's was Houston, Auburn in the finals, and Auburn winning it all. And I like.
Well, okay. I don't think either of those are going to happen, but I am just so delighted. Slightly delighted that Kentucky lost, and this is because I think, and this is not about John Calipari. Everybody now has all the good one and dones. Yeah. Him and Duke, maybe North Carolina, they used to own the one and done situation.
Right.
But with NIL and everything, anyone can get a one and done. And an elite ballers, like real hoopers on their team.
Yep.
And even though Kentucky was stacked this year, there was something like, I think the kid they played last night again, who was it?
10 threes.
Oakland?
Oakland from Detroit.
10 threes, all 32 points from the three-point line. Yep. Nothing from inside.
Yep.
And a couple of free throws. Somebody posted this, and this is exactly what represents March Madness. The idea that one team is filled with NBA prospects, and the guy who beat them is probably going to be working at Enterprise Renter Center in a couple of months. It's not like it's just some average Joe that's been balling his whole life, playing basketball, loves the sport, just eviscerates them by hitting 10 threes. I don't think people understand how hard that is.
Yeah, in a game. You know something? He's had before last night. This guy had 135 threes this season, and he only had 4 2-pointers in the whole season.
This dude is quite literally the definition of a sharpshooter. He has one job. He gets out there, he hits threes, he passes the ball. that is his job.
Yep. It's just like, I don't understand how you, again, how did Kentucky, again, it just goes into this idea that it is, and you see it more and more, especially with the one and dones, with the top talent. I mean, look, Kansas almost got beat last night. In fact, by Samford, if you look at
they should have lost.
If you look at the play, that was a clean block. Okay.
I don't understand how there wasn't replay.
Because you can't replay.
Was there not
Billis actually
That's
got into
ridiculous.
That this morning. I actually caught early part of Billis. Jay Billis was asked about it. He said, look, we already have enough reviews in basketball that we see them enough of the backsides of the officials at the desk. He said, if you get into block shot reviews, he said, again, it just takes it out. And I don't disagree with it.
That's fine. But that review would have taken less than a second. That's my point. There should be someone in a booth that says, no, you made the wrong call. That's the difference. Maybe not a review.
Yeah.
That's what bothers me. Somebody should be upstairs and be like, no, you guys made the wrong call. You have to change it. Don't review it. I reviewed it.
Well, here's the interesting issue. At what point, and maybe we'll hold this thought for when we get Chip back on as well, or we'll revisit it. Maybe the better way to put it. At what point how far off are we from no human eyes, so to speak, on officiating?
Good. Get these human eyes out of here. They're monsters. Every one of them. They ruin every sport. Listen, baseball has like characters that play umpires because those guys need to be the whole game half the time. Those guys should be eliminated. Basketball and football is a little different because you're calling fouls and stuff like that, and there is human error that's supposed to be part of the game. But what doesn't make sense to me is like that play last night specifically changes probably financials for someone like Samford. Like,
Yeah.
I know that's going a little too deep, but my point is that that is not like, oh, there should be you have a 1 minute review. Give it a time.
Yeah. Well, that was like,
Give it a time.
The New Orleans, was it New Orleans or Minnesota? The rule that they changed the interference call. They changed the review on interference or something.
Oh, when it was the New Orleans Rams game.
Yeah.
Remember when that egregious penalty that they just – and listen, the Saints were having a rough couple of years at that point, so –
Yeah.
I
tell you what, let's put this on a burner. I'd love to get Chip's intake on that because I think that would be something.
Absolutely.
It bothers me. I'm almost I understand your point, but I'm almost back to the other way. I'm almost reverting.
I hear you. I'm not totally against you either. We could have like a real conversation
I think
about
it'd be
this.
a great conversation.
People have to be the mediator.
Yeah, because like I said, I could go back and say never have a review. I mean, it's like to me, the designated hitter in baseball is a joke, and still have day games. Okay, I'm just I'm a baseball person, but it's baseball's gotten harder to watch. I love to listen to it still on radio. Speaking of baseball, we can't let this go. Shohei Ohtani, is he gambling or paying off a debt? And how does Major League Baseball not suspend him?
Well, right. First of all, the problem is he is their biggest star. And Shohei has done nothing but be great for 4 or 5 seasons. I don't know. It's 4 seasons. I don't know. It feels like it's gone by really quickly. He's been the best player in baseball by a mile, and the only person that comes close is your Acuna. That's it. That's the only person I think that comes close to Shohei Ohtani. But Shohei Ohtani can pitch 6 shutout innings and give you 2 home runs in the same game, and that's something that we haven't seen since before the league was integrated.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about like a long time ago. But the point I'm trying to make is, if he is responsible, if it is him who is gambling, which at this point we have to figure out new ways to do this gambling thing because obviously things are getting out of hand. I'm talking about for people in general. But if he's going to go down the Pete Rose, Joe Jackson. I mean, Shoeless Joe. Am I there? Yeah, no.
Shoeless Joe.
Yeah. We're gonna go down that road, and we're gonna lose Shohei Ohtani, probably the best baseball player we've seen in 100 years. That MLB can't let that happen. They're gonna figure out a way to blame this on his interpreter.
Okay, but all right, and I have a podcast coming up on Monday that I think we actually taped it a little early, so you've heard it. But is that not the very? Here's a plug for Monday. Okay, I'm discussing the decline in civilization, and a lot of it is we race to the bottom. Is that not a race? If it's shown that he was betting on baseball, and I'm going to take it a step further, he was betting on the Angels.
Yeah, you're right.
He was with the Angels. Okay, do you just ignore it because he can hit a baseball?
But they're not going to show it. That's my point. Listen, we've covered up bigger things than this.
Wait. There's going to be enough outside investigators who because if they find it, they become instant money. Okay, they can profit, put a book out, put a report out. If they can show he did this, and again, how stupid was this the way it was handled?
Well, that's the thing. So if he's okay, here, this is an argument I heard yesterday. I think it was on Beadle and Decker. They were saying that if this is the situation that we see it as right now, where just on the surface, it is Shohei Ohtani, from what we've been told, was giving money to a friend. If that's the circumstance, which right now seems a little hard to believe, but if that's the circumstance, understandably, he'll probably get suspended a couple of games, probably 30 games or something like that. But if that is the case and he was giving a friend money, I am not against it. I get it. If that was my best friend in the trenches who's losing his money like that guy's my right-hand man. I have no problem with it. It sucks because he gave the money directly, but that's that. But if it is Shohei Ohtani who's gambling, it is a huge mark on baseball, who's already in in the trenches and dug deep in America that has no way of coming up from the top. They have been so bad in America. They had their opening day game in Seoul, South Korea, and we didn't even know about it.
Right.
They don't care about American baseball, and this only will make it worse because America just won't pay. They're going to be like, you know what? If Shohei's not playing, we're not paying attention.
Well, and the question is how many actually watch for Shohei anyway? And I think here's what's happened. Baseball has lost its local feel.
Yes.
And I think that's why Atlanta still does okay. Atlanta Braves baseball is still nostalgic, okay? And hear me out when I say this. Atlanta Braves baseball is we're the only thing that for years, okay? Atlanta Braves were the southeastern team, okay? In many ways still are, okay? Because there's no team in South Carolina, no team in North Carolina, no team in Tennessee, no team in Alabama, no team in Mississippi. Yeah, Florida, okay, we got two, but I mean, that was just in the recent years. But even going up into, you get outside of that, over to Louisiana, you going up into, even parts of Virginia, especially Western Virginia. So you got like an 8-state area in which Braves baseball was it. And it was carried on radio, WWSB, out of Atlanta, just like WSM, not WSM, but what's the NGC? WGN out of Chicago was the Cubs. Okay, it's why the Cubs are beloved all through the Midwest. Okay,
right. So you're either a Cubs or a St. Louis fan.
Cubs or St. Louis fan, and it's why there's a bitter rivalry, and it's a fun rivalry. So Atlanta is maintained that, and I think. Going to the Atlanta games, watching the Braves, there's still several generations alive in Atlanta that grew up with the Braves that were pathetic. Okay. But they were our team. They were the Braves. Okay.
Right. It didn't matter. That's what you had.
Chief Nakahoma. We had the TP in the outfield. It's just who we grew up with. And it across generational lines, across ethnic lines. And so, that's why the Braves still have 2 and 3 million show up every year to play. Now, is it what it used to be? No. But we've lost that in Major League Baseball many ways to the international dimension. And just like you said.
But the international players have clearly been better. I mean, they just have.
Well, baseball,
partially because a lot of kids just aren't playing baseball anymore.
Yeah.
Why would it's not fun. It wasn't fun. You had one. Listen, I know this sounds insane, but back in the day when kids were playing baseball, there wasn't much else to do.
Oh no,
that had to be the most fun thing possible.
Oh, I agree.
And it's not as fun as say a basketball game or football or this, that, and the other thing. It's cooler to play those other sports, and baseball hasn't done much to secure its American market. And now its number one star, who is foreign, is possibly going to be, the whole story, we have no information, not enough information yet to judge on it. But if he is gambling, he is going to go the way of Pete Rose. And I hope Pete Rose comes out and does another press conference about how he should still be in the Hall of Fame if Shohei Ohtani gets clipped. Just because I think Pete Rose is the funniest person who's ever existed, considering that he did I should be in the Hall of Fame, I'm not a gambler interview live from Las Vegas. I think that is the most hilarious thing that's ever happened because it just shows that he didn't care whatsoever what anyone thought.
Yeah. I think you just got to the point now where he like everybody else, realized this is the dumbest thing that's actually happened. And, after a while...
Put him in the Hall of Fame.
Well, it's about like everything else. In America, we do finally have sympathy for people, especially if it's something not like Charles Manson, okay? The guy didn't...
He didn't murder anybody.
No.
He gambled on a couple of games to win.
So after a while, it's like, okay, is this just going a little too far?
Well, you're keeping him out when you should only be keeping him out as a coach, and you're keeping him out of baseball entirely, even though he was one of the most famous baseball players who's ever lived. And if you're a Cincinnati Reds fan, he is your team.
Oh, Charlie Hustle, him and Johnny Bench. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. There's only two. There's two guys. I mean, yes, I'm sure there's more. I'm not
Joe
a big
Morgan
baseball fan.
Again,
Right.
here's the sad part. I can name ball players from the 70s and 80s almost better than I can name ball players from right now.
Yeah, but that's because that's how you grew up.
It's
I can
also
name
age.
well, actually,
It is
both,
age,
but-
a lot of age.
Yeah.
But I will say this: look, baseball is still a great game. They're changing it. There's some
for the better a little bit.
Yeah, some
I mean,
rules.
it's kind of turned itself around.
Yeah, I watched this rule about they're saying they can't block the base with a glove or something. They called the other night.
That's dumb.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. And
that's literally the entire point of baseball is to block the guy from getting to
exactly. It's like, okay, this
the
is,
base.
they keep going down that road. They're idiots. So,
Yeah. Well, speaking of things that happened in our childhood,
yeah,
your childhood specifically, maybe I don't know when you were born, so I'm not going to jump on that wagon. But James Bond,
66, baby.
Yep. You wanted to. Oh, so you were right after the first James Bond.
Exactly. Yep.
So you wanted to talk about this earlier,
Yeah.
and I just want to say that if everyone doesn't know, Aaron Taylor Johnson has been pegged as the guy who's going to be the next James Bond. I don't know if he's accepted or not. I just want to be clear. I am 180% on board with this. I didn't even know he was British until the other day.
Well,
so
here's my problem. I don't even know who he is. I think that's the interesting thing here.
all right. He's done some Marvel movies. He did a horrible movie named Savages, which we never need to discuss. My God, that was terrible. And he was in the recent Bullet Train movie, which I think might have not gotten. I don't know if it got him the role, but he plays a hitman in that movie, and it was kind of funny. And I have a feeling they're going to go down that route, the old school funny Bond.
I hope they don't.
think.
I really hope they don't.
I hope they keep the Daniel Craig thing, but I have a feeling they're going down the route of like maybe it'll be a little more not funny, but like a little more because Roger Moore. I'm sorry, just those movies are. Awful.
They had this long time coming out. It was going to be Idris Elba, which I thought would have been probably pretty good.
For sure.
I don't know this Aaron Taylor Johnson. It's now 2-1 that he's it. He did some movies out there. He was in
Godzilla.
Yeah, he was in Bullet Train, Age of Ultron, which I'm not sure what.
That's Marvel.
He was Quicksilver in that.
Yeah. He's done a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's a good move. I think it also helps that like maybe he hasn't done that blockbuster, so everyone remembers him for that. I think that's the same thing with Daniel Craig,
right?
Where he hadn't at the time done that blockbuster yet. He was still a great actor at the time, just hadn't done the super blockbuster. I'm not saying Aaron Taylor Johnson isn't in big movies, but like as far as Godzilla was good, okay, but like no one really cared. Where this will be his crowning achievement, and I think that's good.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Well, speaking of that, while we got a few minutes, we're like I said today, we're sort of doing a quick fire. For your taste, who is Bond to you?
Oh, okay. Well, it's now Daniel Craig because I've just been forced. But I got to tell you, when I was a kid, those why am I blanking on his name? Pierce Brosnan. Pierce Brosnan is the most just James Bond person I can think of. When I see his face, that's my first thought.
Yeah, you got Pierce Brosnan. I sort of lost it during the Pierce Brosnan, and there was one who did it for like one time, or two. Oh, Timothy Dalton.
Those were pretty bad.
Yeah, Roger. Okay, when I was growing up, mine would have been knowing Bond would have been Roger Moore. Okay. Roger Moore was the 70s, Live and Let Die, The Spy Who Loved Me, Octopussy, which we all thought was the greatest thing in the world because you could say Octopussy and everybody thought it was the greatest thing in the world.
Hilarious, yes. It's still hilarious.
If you go back to Sean Connery, and Sean Connery was the original Bond. There's no way you can remake those movies.
Absolutely not.
I mean, my God, go to I think Netflix has a lot of them on, some of them, and go to the Goldfinger and listen to what they say. I mean, I get a kick out of it, but today they would be banned from start.
Oh, absolutely. No, they would be arrested.
But here's my problem. They would ban Bond from kill. And again, this is the name of the lady in the movie was Pussy Galore. Okay, that was her name in the movie. And yet we would go nuts over that today if that was the the character's name.
Absolutely.
But yet, we're, as I've talked about on this show and I'm talking about on Monday, we're okay with transgender story hour? Really?
It's easy to go with the flow, Doug. Right? Right?
I guess.
Right?
I've got to
It's
go
much
back to
easier
something
than that.
Yeah. Roger Moore, I guess, because I grew up with Roger, but and I like the gimmicky, kind of, James Bondy stuff. But I have to say, and I'll hope, and if they don't, I will probably not. I'll tune out. I'll not watch the Bonds like I didn't under Pierce Brosnan and others. If this new guy, whoever it is not in the line of Craig, if he's not in the line of a serious,
it's such a good movie. They're all good movies.
darker side of Bond, then I'm not gonna. I've lost it. I don't want to see the fancy. Stuff that can't happen.
Yeah. Well, what we need is, and we got to wrap up here, but what we need 100% is we need Christopher Nolan to do these movies. He's talked about doing it. Well, we need him to do it.
Well, that is it. And folks, so weigh in for us, DougCollinsPodcast.com. Hit the email button. Let us know who your favorite Bond is, your favorite Bond movie. We'll talk about this more. We'll pick back up next week. Got lots of big stuff. Be ready for Monday's edition, folks. I'm really going to dive deep into something that I want you to hear. So be prepared for Monday's podcast, and we'll be ready for next week. And probably Chip will be back with us on Friday's Finest. With that, we're out. See ya.